everyone, today I thought I'd come on and we'd make some tags for our journals. I've got a few ready-made tags here. I'm just going to decorate them. I've got some in different colours, in different sizes and in different shapes. I've got some that I've made myself and some from the printed out kit. They'll just need like a hole in them and some string or something through them. I've got some pieces of card that I can turn into a tag. I've got some bigger tags here which I really like, and that one I got in a pack from someone. So what I have got is some focal points for my tag. So this is a fairy stencil that I've just recently got. I've made that on a piece of sprayed card. I've got a mushroom there, I've got a little rabbit cut out of some fabric, I've got a dragonfly, all things like that. You'll see them as we go along. I've got this little bird cage which I love. I've got a few little words I can use on it, and I've got some string to use and also some bookbinding material I thought I could use to go through there instead of string on some of them. I've got little buttons to use. So what I was thinking was, with the ones I'm going to make myself, all I need to do to make a tab is cut it to the size roughly that you want to make a tag, rather than you cut off one corner and you use it as a template for the other corner like this. Make sure your sides match, and then I just need to make a little hole there, and then that one will be done. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this side to decorate. Yeah, maybe that side on some and the other side on others. Yeah, so it was my daughter's birthday today. We've been out to lunch. My oldest daughter's birthday today and my youngest daughter's birthday tomorrow. Yeah, we went out and had a really nice lunch, spent the afternoon together. That was really nice. So yeah, we enjoyed that. Right, so I've got my tags made. Some of them have holes, some don't have to have holes. You can put a little tab on the top of them instead. And I'm going to use a formula to make a collage that I saw on Treasure Books on Natasha, over at Natasha on Treasure Books. She showed a formula on how to make a collage, and the formula was, you start with some plain paper. So I've got this paper from some packaging. So you start with a piece of plain paper. I'm going to have it like that. Then you use some paper that's got some text on it. So I've got this paper. This is from a book that I've got, and I don't want it to have a straight edge. I'm going to have a torn edge on it. So there's my plain paper, there's my torn paper. Then you're supposed to have some patterned paper, and I've got these little doilies because we're doing tags and they're quite small. And I'm going to use these doilies for that. So I've got my doily there, and then you're supposed to have something like some plain writing paper. So this is the plain writing paper that I've got. I've just torn some sheets out of a notebook. I'm going to cut those down. Plain paper like that, I'm not sure whether that maybe is a little bit too much plain paper. I'm going to tear a little bit more off of there as well, I think. So we've got our piece of plain paper, piece of paper with text on it, piece of patterned paper and then our piece of plain paper. I think I'm going to make the piece of plain paper smaller. It's a little bit too big for this size of tag, I think. That's better. And then we need our focal point. So let's rummage in here for a focal point. We'll have the mushroom, as I'm making, some of these are for the mushroom journal. So that's going to be, oh yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I shall get my glue and glue that down. And then I can decide whether or not it needs anything else. I love this formula. It looked, I know when Natasha did it, it looked really good, and I liked how it looked. Hers, she was doing larger pieces. I think they were more like journal cards. You know, they were bigger areas to cover. But I thought, well, I can do the same formula, but with smaller pieces of paper. And I'm just using white school glue to stick this down with. And then my last piece, my focal point. And Natasha had done the same sort of thing on 3 different pieces of card. And they all looked different because of the focal point was different, and the little finishing off pieces that she did were different too. So you can use the same basic formula. I thought it was a great idea having a formula. You don't have to think about it then. You can just, you know what you need and you go for it. So I think that's pretty busy and pretty good as it is. Apart from just here, we need something, I need a little something just there, like a word, like I've got serenity. I could put that on there. I like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that just there. And then we need to decide whether it, I think I am going to put a hole in the top here. I'm going to put a hole in it, and I'm going to put a piece of, I think, this plain bookbinding material. I'm going to put a piece of that through the top because it's quite, I don't want to take away from this lovely focal point in the middle. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of this. I think that will work a treat. It's lovely stuff, this is. It feels lovely. Again, it's from my favourite Sheen. So we'll do it, yeah, I think that's going to look lovely, isn't it? So let's make our hole in the middle. And I've actually got a crocodile. Now, I never thought I would have a crocodile because they're expensive to buy. They're very expensive to buy. I mean, it's fantastic. I love it. But I got it on Vinted, and I got it for £10. So it was for the crocodile. And it came in this tub like this, and it's come with a lot of the little, what do you call those, grommets, whatever. Anyway, it came with loads of them, and it works beautifully. I'm so pleased with it. So let's find a little thing to go in there. We'll do that one, which is a good colour to go with what we've got. You don't have to put these through, you could manage without it, but and really it'd be a good idea to wait until your thing is dry, but obviously I'm far too impatient for such things. There we are. It's so frustrating when you can't get these to work properly. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. That's worked really well. And then we just need to pop our fabric through there. I think I might have to cut it in half. It's quite thick to go through there. There we are, really pleased with that. So I need to put it underneath something heavy so that it will dry flat, but really pleased with that. And that you could pop that in one of your pockets in your journal, and it can be journaled on the back of. I love it. It's come out really well, hasn't it? So that's one. Now let's go for a different one this time. Let's go for a white one. This one has the string through it already, which I may decide to change, but we'll go with some brown paper first, some coloured paper first. There's our coloured paper. Then we need our text. Then our fancy paper. I quite like this here, but not necessarily with this bit. I'm going to cut that bit off. It like that, I think. And then we need our piece of plain paper at the bottom. And then our focal point. So let's see. We've got several of these to try. Oh, that does look so nice, doesn't it? It's just a little fit on. It doesn't quite fit on there. I need a bigger tag for that one to go on, don't I? This one. Yep, that looks pretty too, and that would fit on there. What about a butterfly? Would that fit on? Not quite, does it? It's just a little bit too wide. What about the mushroom? Yeah, I think we'll go with the mushroom. So I'll get that glued on. And I feel like we need something up here. I'm not a fan of this white string. I'm going to take that out. And I think I'm going to put in some string, if I can find it. Here we are. Some of this string. Yeah, I feel like I need something else up here, but I'm not sure what. Let's have a look. I've got some fancy edging. I've got some lace. I've got some, this little butterfly button. I really love these little tortoiseshell buttons. They're really pretty. I really love these. I'm thinking maybe either that butterfly or a tortoiseshell button with a tiny bit of the so that, or I actually think I like that. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? We'll do that. So I've got my hot glue gun ready. That probably would stick down as it is because it's still quite wet, that glue underneath there. There we go, that's better. Yes, that looks good. Now I'm also going to go around the edge and just ink the edge of that one. It's rather stark, isn't it? Stark white, so I'm going to I'm actually going to ink all of that white. There we are. Oh yeah, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. So that's another one done. Now, let's try one of the tinier ones. This teeny tiny one. I don't think we need to put the brown paper on there because it's brown already. So I'm going to just put a tiny piece of this book page on it. Like so, and then we're going to have some pretty paper, but instead of using a doily, I'm going to use this. I actually think I'm going to have it, just make that straighter across there. So that there, and we'll have that just there like that. I've got a tiny piece of that plain paper left that I can put at the bottom just here. Then we need our focal point. What can we choose for our focal point for this one? It needs to be something quite small, so maybe we can have the that's still a bit big on there, isn't it? I think that would work. Yeah. What do you think? I think that would work. I can always trim, if it's over the edge, I can always trim it down a little bit more, can't I? Yeah, I do quite like that one. Because it's on a smaller tag, it needs to be a smaller focal point. Another one I have is this one, which I think would work, but I think it just drowns out everything. That one does, doesn't it? It's so big that it drowns out everything, so that's no good. And the other one I have that is cute is the little bunny. And I do have a bunny journal in the pipeline, so maybe we could have the little bunny. Yeah, I like that. And then I think we could have maybe some washi tape, or we need a bit of colour on this one, don't we? We need a bit of colour on it now, so I'm thinking some of this is fabric tape. I do like that, and I'm thinking a word as well on there. Yeah, I think that's going to be lovely. So let's get these bits glued down. I'm thinking something just here. I'm thinking I'm going to do a little string bow, just like that. I'm thinking the little button. Oh yeah, I love that. It's so cute. So now, do we have a string through it, or do we have, what do we have through there, do you think? I have these in all different colours. I've got this pinky colour, I've got this blue, I've got pink and green there, and I've got the colour that I had before, the neutrally colour. I think maybe we'll go with the neutrally colour. Yes, that's my plan. I really like that. It's the ones that you think you've made a hash of, and then when you finish you think, oh, actually, it came out good. So that could be trimmed down. We don't need it quite as long as that, do we? So basically that's how I'm going to do my tags. I've done 3, haven't I? And then these ones I shall do the same. But these little, I've got some little ones here that I may just put a hole through and some string on, or I might just put a tab on them because they're already decorated nicely. But these little jars is what I wanted to show you. I'm going to, I think all these little jars need is a little bit of string around the rim of the jar. So let's see, let's try putting this string is double, so I'm going to just split it so that it's not as thick. I think it would be too thick. I'm going to just split it. And then do a little like that. And I thought that we could have something on here, just where the knot is. I'm going to go with this little heart charm on this one. I'm actually just going to tie that on there. I've just threaded it onto one of the strings, and I'm just going to tie that onto there like that. And I don't think that needs anything else. I think that's really sweet. Maybe we could put it over this side so that we could see more of the... Let's just spin it round a bit. Yes, love it. The back of it is already distressed, and it would be good for writing on, wouldn't it? So I'm not going to do anything else on the back of there. So that's what I'm planning to do with the jar ones. So the ones I've made myself, I'll do similar to what I've been doing already. Like I say, we've got the jar ones. These ones I'm literally just going to make a hole in the top like that, and this one's going to get pink. So that's one thing we can do with those. I'm quite happy with that. I mean, you could add other things if you wanted to, like a little bow at the bottom, like a little piece of the pink so it matches the top. You could add a word, but really I don't think there's any need to. It's got pattern at the top and bottom, it's got its focal point. Yeah, I don't think we need anything else. I'm quite happy with that just as it is. And as I say, it's ready to write on the back of. And then we have another one here, and instead of putting a hole in it, I'm going to put a tab on it. And I'm going to use some of this red and white fabric. I'm just going to put that on there like that. Yep, There we go, another one done. I don't think it needs anything else at all. So these are the three that I've done. So I've done the small one, the large one and the medium sized one. I actually really like all three of those. I'd be hard pressed to pick a favourite. I really do like them all. And yeah, so I'll get some more of these done and then I'll show you how I will use them in a journal. I didn't do the heart one, but I would do the same thing as I've done with these ones. Yeah, I would distress the edge and everything. I'll distress the edges of those and everything. So yeah, those are the ones that I've got done. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.